Good morning. My name is Maria DeStore, and I go LinkedIn Live every Tuesday morning to share tips with you on how to get your career off of autopilot. And today, if you're happily employed on a specific career trajectory, you know exactly where you're going, you're going to reach your retirement goals, then go ahead, swipe away now. But if not, today, I'm going to talk about taking your first step towards getting exactly that career in life by design that's going to land you where you want to be. So if you're here, if you're honest with yourself, you know you have so much more to offer. Somewhere along the lines, you lost traction in your career, maybe deliberately because you were in heavy caregiving years or had to divert your attention to education or something else. But you've given away your control for too long, and now you're ready. You're ready to plan for that next thing. You want to get onto that upward trajectory, or maybe you just want to figure out the steps you need to get to that retirement you want and that life by design. You want to get to that place where you enjoy what you do and you're happy and thriving in your career and your life. So, how did you get here in the first place? Maybe you told yourself stories in your head. Okay, I was a stay-at-home mother, I get it, or a working parents. Sometimes you have to take a little bit of shift down in your career to manage everything. Great. But people who have been working and have been underemployed, maybe you tell yourself the story in your head. My company's going to take care of me. They're going to be here for me. It isn't that bad here. When I do this XYZ thing for them, they'll really see me then, and they're gonna reward my efforts. Maybe you don't know what comes next. How do you get and open your mind to the possibilities? Some people are afraid of failure. Great. Everyone's afraid of failure, but you still got to do it, right? Because that's when you learn the most and that's when the greatest rewards happen. But you know what the biggest danger is, and what I see in a lot of my clients and women that I talk to, is that slowly added systemic abuse. Hey, can you stay late tonight? Hey, can you do this project? I know it's not really your thing, but can you do this for me? Um, Women, men, people want to be respected and want to serve and have a passion for what they do. But sometimes that passion and that sense of responsibility is taken advantage of. I can think of a few examples of friends and clients, one who worked for a school district. What mission can be more important than that, right? Slowly, every time it was time for a transition in the school year, her job, she was in IT, would get extremely busy. During COVID, their systems failed, and she was working not only 10-hour days, she would go home and then work till 2 or 3 in the morning. And this went on for a year. A year she let this abuse happen. And you know, she's not making top dollar working for a school district to begin with. Another friend, her coworker went out on medical leave for 6 months, and at the end of that said, "Oh, I'm not coming back." Well, this person was doing both jobs, which ended up for a full year. Your company, your organization, I don't care if it's a nonprofit, an organization, a school, a corporate, they're going to take advantage of you as long as you let them. So if you're miserable in your job, is it because of that slowly added systemics, you not being able to say no? The biggest cost of this, and the biggest cost of you staying in these jobs, is doing nothing, because your mental health declines, and it leads to those physical declines and maybe poor eating and no exercising and stress that decrease your health span and your lifespan. It's not worth it. You're not being paid enough to begin with. Also, when you stay at a job that's just where you're coasting or not happy, you're missing those opportunities for growth and fulfillment. You're delaying your retirement and reaching your level of financial security. And there's always that sense of regret, like, what if? What if I had done that? What if I had been brave and left 6 months ago? There is a different way to break free of this cycle of stagnation and create the career that truly reflects your values, your passions, and your goals. Create that life by design and get towards your financial freedom. I helped Cassandra see how she could transition out of teaching. Talk about a place where you're often abused, right? Teaching into educational sales. I helped Kate figure out how she didn't need to run from her core skills. She was burned out after 10 years working and just was exhausted. And she's like, I don't want to do that ever again. And she went to something completely different. But I showed her that it wasn't the core skills, it wasn't her degree, it wasn't that she was running from, it was the toxic situation. And so she was able to use her degree and the skills that pays the bills to get into something different. It's just all about recreating what is your career reality, repackaging yourself. I helped struggling solopreneur Mandy open up new revenue streams in her business. And we looked at that idea of a portfolio career for her. She realized that she could just land some part-time work with the stable income. It would give her room to breathe, be on solid footing, and yet still be able to have the time to grow her entrepreneurial passion project. I helped Michelle map out a transition out of her 20-year law career to an encore career that aligned with her passions, had less stress, had flexible hours, and had those exciting new challenges, but still provided the income and benefits she needed to bridge to her retirement. There are lots of ways to do this. Why should you connect with people like me, other people who are doing things like this? They'll help you see the opportunities and the possibilities. If we stay and we try to navigate this by ourselves, because we're all competent professionals, we've gotten to great places in our careers. But what happens if you don't talk to others and you don't go to networking events and you don't open your mind to the possibilities. I know a couple of people who I talked to after they did the career pivot on their own. But I know someone who settled for a third of their past salary just to get something, just to get out of that limbo of looking for a job. I know people who took $50,000 less to work at a job where they were abused. There was no onboarding. They were working 50, 60 more hours a week. And you know what? 1 year later, they were thrown out. When you complete these career pivots, it's really important to connect with people in your network, coaches. There's lots of free stuff out there. Don't be in a hurry. Take the time and really be deliberate on what you do. I invite you to connect with me on LinkedIn. Let my network become your network. I also have done more than 50 of these LinkedIn Lives. That is tons of tips to help guide you so that you don't make a quick decision that maybe you'll regret later. Go to my activity section and then click on events. Did you know that you could schedule a free package yourself for profits call with me? You could be on my calendar later this afternoon. Let's chat. Let's get you on your way. I want to close with reminding you there is a child that's still in your heart, and she or he dreams and wonders and aspires. What would happen if you turn the keys over to them and see what magical places they take you to? Thank you for joining me today, and I'll be LinkedIn Live next Tuesday to share more tips to help you get your career off of autopilot. See you then. Have a great week.